If we add a group of numbers or multiply several numbers, we can do that in any order that we want, and we're going to get a correct answer. But if we see that there's a different operation, like adding and subtracting, or multiplying and adding, then we must use a specific order, and that is the order of operations, or PEMDAS. So the P stands for parentheses. That has to be done first. Once we have done the parentheses, or if there aren't any, we move to the E, which is the exponents. Once we have completed the exponents, or if there aren't any, we move to the multiplication division. And this is the sticky part. Multiplication and division are equally as important. So if we are faced with both of them in a number sentence, we must do whichever one comes first in the sentence. We must work left to right. Once we're done with the multiplication division, we move to adding, subtracting. And adding, subtracting also are equally as important as each other. And if we have both of them in a number sentence, then we must work left to right, doing adding first if adding comes first, but doing subtraction first if the subtraction comes first. So let's work a couple to see how this plays out. Our number one is 5 minus 2, the quantity, to the third power. So we look at our parentheses. Yes, we have parentheses, so we'll solve that first. We only try to do one step at a time. 5 minus 2 is 3. I'm going to bring my parentheses down. You don't have to use the parentheses. You could just write 3 to the third. And we know from our work with exponents that 3 to the third means I have 3 times 3 times 3. It tells me I have 3 threes. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3. 9 times 3 is 27. So my answer for number 1 is 27. I look at number 2, and it looks very complicated. So we just start step by step. Do we have any parentheses? Yes, so that's where we'll start. 7 plus 3 gives us 10. I'm going to come over here and do these parentheses. 4 plus 5 gives me 9. I've done those steps. Now I'm going to copy everything else all over that I haven't done. I'm going to bring my 9 down. I'm going to keep my parentheses. My subtraction sign I haven't done anything with, so I'm going to bring it down. My 3 I'll bring down, and I'm going to keep my parentheses. Remember, these parentheses mean multiplication, so if you prefer, you can put 9 times 10 minus 3 times 9. I'm very used to using parentheses, so I'm comfortable with that. So the parentheses, we have done all the parentheses. These parentheses mean to multiply, so they're not true parentheses. Do we have any exponents? No. Let's go to multiplication or division. Do we have multiplication or division? Oh, we have multiplication. This is 9 times 10 minus 3 times 9. So let's go left to right. 9 times 10 is 90. I'm going to solve just this one step. I'm going to copy everything else all over, rewrite it, and then I'm going to reevaluate. Multiplication, division. Oh, I still have multiplication. So I'm going to take my 3 times 9 is 27. I'm going to bring down my subtraction. I have 90 minus 27. I'll go ahead and subtract my scratch paper. And I should come up with 63. Number 3, I look for parentheses. Now these have parentheses, but there is nothing to do with this one number in the parentheses, so it means we're going to multiply. The parentheses in number 2, there is something that we can do. We can compute 3 plus 7. Once it becomes 10, there is nothing else to compute. So 9 parentheses 10 means 9 times 10. So we have, these aren't true parentheses. We don't have an exponent. We look at multiplication and division. Well, we have both. We have division and we have multiplication. Well, we have to work left to right, and even though it's tempting to go ahead and multiply 5 times 3, we must do what is first in the number sentence. Division comes before multiplication. So we must divide. 30 divided by 5 gives me 6. I'm going to go ahead and bring down my 3. my last step is 6 times 3 equals 18. My answer is 18. I look at number 4. It's pretty complicated, and it's one that you will see. You'll see it a lot in upper level classes. So we have 40 minus the quantity 3 times 7 minus 9 divided by, the fractional line just means divided by, 8 times 2 minus 2. So I like to just take it bit by bit. So I look at it and I see that I have parentheses. So over here, I brought my parentheses. This is 3 times 7 minus 9. So I'm going to go ahead and work that over here. Well, 3 times 7 is 21. Bring down my subtraction. Bring down my 9. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 9 from 21. I can't take 9 from 1. 9, 10, 11. And I come up with 12. So my parentheses equal 12. So I'm going to substitute my 12 in there. So my next step is 40 minus this quantity of 12. I can keep my parentheses. I can get rid of my parentheses. It doesn't matter. It means the same thing. Then I'm going to look at my denominator. 8 times 2 is 16 minus 2. So I'm going to come over here and put my 16 minus 2. So my top, I'm going to go ahead and solve 40 minus 12. Gives me 28. 16 minus 2 gives me 14. 28 divided by 14 equals 2. I do that one in my head. If you didn't, this is what it looks like. 14 won't go into 2, but 14 goes into here. And so my answer is 2. I hope that made sense.